The first few years of the 20th century were a time of great innovation and discovery for the cinematic art form. And in 1904, some films were made. But I did have to laugh because as far as new developments go, most of the popular films of 1904 are still being made by Georges Méliès. And yeah, that wasn't in Hugo. Possibly the biggest trend that first appeared this year was a movie was remade, and solely for cynical financial gain. The Great Train Robbery, which came out only a year before, was reproduced to cash in on the success of the original film. Again, this was the Wild West of filmmaking, but probably not too dissimilar from how straight-to-red-box movies will rip off a popular trend. But other future trends are being planted. This short film called Personal, in which a man is chased by a group of women who all want to marry him, seems to foreshadow a type of action, physical comedy that will take shape throughout the next decade. More than likely, it's the chase sequence in The Great Train Robbery that is inspiring this, but chase sequences become popular subjects this year. Another film, The Escaped Lunatic, is also just one big chase sequence. It's very indicative of the art form for this element to be popular. After all, chase sequences are inherently unique to film. Something you can't really convey in any other art form. This film uses a combination of rear projection and shadow puppetry, with silhouettes to create this illusion of nighttime. Partially for a practical effect, it's about burglars who rob someone at night, and how else do you really show that, but also to the effect of creating mood and atmosphere. Honestly, my favorite film from this year is this actuality of a fireworks display filmed by George Albert Smith, which is painted frame by frame, causing this kaleidoscope of color, which almost makes this one of the earliest art films of simple painted images. It's clearly done as a simple display of spectacle, but it has this other effect that is far more impressionistic. George Albert Smith is another pioneer who sometimes gets overlooked. He filmed a lot of real events such as this, but even before Porter, Smith was making innovations with editing and cinematography. One of the first to edit shots together and use close-ups. He understood that different lenses created different feelings. He would later make innovations in color film stock, but he never had a big hit that would get him as much attention as Edwin S. Porter received. I've made a few allusions to the rise of internet videos, Vines, YouTube, and how it mirrors a lot of the early days of film.
Run.
And it's interesting to me how really similar their trajectories seem to be. What we'll slowly see happen throughout this decade is how the popularity of film becomes monetized, made into an assembly line style of production, and soon pioneer filmmakers will start to make a voice for themselves. But that's for another episode.
And now it's all over.